Welcome. Today's briefing from XFO Intelligence. It delves into a subject of really critical importance. We're talking about the coming transformation of global finance, all driven by artificial intelligence. Our comprehensive analysis reveals the financial world is approaching its most profound shift. Since the advent of electronic trading. This is not a gradual evolution. It's more a series of distinct tipping points or thresholds. These are points where even small increases in AI adoption can trigger these dramatic system-wide changes. Understanding these dynamics it's essential, for navigating the emerging financial landscape. The first of these is what our research identifies as the microstructure shift. We project that when AI-driven trading reaches about 30% of market volume, the very architecture of markets will begin to change. At this point, human traders, they effectively lose their competitive edge. AI systems process information at speeds that are just impossible for humans to match. This threshold is not some distant concern. Our data suggests it will be crossed within the next 18 to 24 months. Yeah, that soon. This marks the true beginning of a hybrid human-AI era. As adoption continues, though, the system approaches a more dangerous phase. At the 60% threshold, a correlation crisis emerges. As all these successful AI strategies become widely adopted, market participants, they just increasingly behave in correlated ways. This strategy homogenization, it turns what begins as individual optimization into a systemic vulnerability. The consequences are severe. Systemic correlation, this tendency for everyone to move in the same direction, it increases dramatically. And our models, they show the probability of a cascade failure rises by nearly 400%. Wow, and that's compared to human-dominated markets. The market may look more efficient, right? But it is actually becoming more fragile. And then, beyond 80% AI adoption, markets enter a new regime entirely. Human participation becomes marginal. Price discovery, liquidity, risk management, it all operates through AI to AI interactions. In this state, market behavior becomes incredibly difficult to predict using traditional frameworks. You get these mysterious, emergent behaviors that no single system designer ever anticipated. This leads to one of our most counterintuitive findings. It's the great paradox, where this relentless pursuit of market efficiency actually increases systemic fragility. Purely efficient systems, they perform brilliantly under normal conditions, but they can collapse catastrophically under stress. Think of a high-performance race car. They are just not built for rough terrain. The solution here lies in strategic redundancy, and it's inspired by biological systems. It intentionally balances that high efficiency with robust resilience. But perhaps our most surprising finding is the persistent value of the human element. Our analysis shows hybrid human-AI systems consistently outperform. They outperform both pure AI and pure human approaches. The optimal configuration? It appears to be a mix of about 60% AI automation with 40% human oversight. These hybrid systems are not only more profitable, they also demonstrate 40% greater resilience during market crises and adapt more effectively to unprecedented situations. So the clear implication is that the goal should not be replacement, it should be augmentation. This rapid evolution, it presents an existential challenge for regulation. Current frameworks are static, while the markets they govern are dynamic. The typical 2 to 3 year cycle for developing new rules, it creates this dangerous lag where innovation just far outpaces oversight. The only viable path forward is a fundamental shift from static rules to adaptive governance, a world where regulatory systems themselves become intelligent, learning from market data and adjusting in near real time. So all these factors, they culminate in what we see as a closing window for effective intervention. Our projections show the period between 2028 and 2032 represents a time of extreme vulnerability. That's when AI adoption is expected to cross that dangerous 60% correlation threshold, and it will happen without adequate governance frameworks in place. The warning signs, they are already visible, and the time for proactive governance is now. Our analysis concludes with a path forward, and it's centered on 5 critical interventions. Things like industry-wide coordination on AI adoption, developing next-generation adaptive circuit breakers, mandating meaningful human-AI collaboration, redesigning markets for resilience, and, of course, implementing adaptive regulatory frameworks. The decisions made in the next 24 to 36 months, they will determine everything. They will determine whether the future of finance is one of fragility or resilience. For more in-depth analysis, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the XFO Intelligence podcast channel.